the denizens of Europa. Welcome to my channel today. Shout out to everybody that taps in and tunes in. I greatly appreciate you. Hope you find these videos in good health, good spirit, good finances, or its equivalent. My name is Dason on this beautiful chemtraily day in the desert on a horse with no name. And I am just thugging it out. Been reading the timeline, the headlines. It's the weekend, so you know there's no new season plot. I think your people already complaining that your boy Trump is taking a vacation or traveling somewhere, so it's not likely the government is opening back up on Monday. But now they got the military involved, so prayers up for the veterans out there, as they are people. I think the Pentagon went to collect money to help pay the soldiers or somebody. I was like, why the heck would they have to accept or raise money? Like 130 billion, I think. Where the hell they get that from? What kind of phone call is that? So that just means things are serious. If they gotta borrow from Harry to pay Paul to take care of Tony. So we're kind of like in a really weird Twilight Zone episode when it comes to like them moving their money around. Especially if they're going after athletes and gamblers and basically private sector bank accounts. They've been freezing bank accounts too, low-key. The ones that actually have a lot of fiat in them. All kind of weird things going on, man. And mind you that the government itself doesn't need the physical money. Like, they don't need the cash you're hiding in your wall. They need it so that you don't have it, so that you're not investing in doing things and other things, and they can take it and use it for other things. It's an accounting measure, but they have to talk to us because we're so used to thinking it's stacks of value. So the game they're playing is not the game that we're playing, but they're kind of parallelish. It makes my head hurt thinking about it. But that's not, like I said, that's way above our pay grade, quite literally. The Pentagon is the highest pay grade, I think, out here. So if the Pentagon got to borrow money, I don't know what's going on anywhere. And there's more and more and more people trying to figure out, well, if they could do that, why couldn't they? And if they couldn't do that, then why did $40 billion go to Argentina with the Jewish people up there and down here? Like, hello, you answered your own question. Ding, 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 ding. You're following the government. What you need to be following is the people moving the money around. Follow the money, not the court and the things on paper that they don't know how to read. Everybody in your government gets somebody else to read it for them, bro. You better wake up. Your government don't know what the government is. They know what they need to know to get their position and to keep it. And you know, it's all the blackmail, extortion, laundering, missing money, embezzlement, firing, and furloughs, and feds this, and employees that. All that is based on people stealing money. Y'all know that, right? I hope you do. And they're not going to flat out and make a big deal about that. Definitely not the news paid for by the same people, because then they don't want to incentivize others. Like, damn, well, if they got away with it, all 1 million people, then I guess the little $5 I took from the register ain't that bad. You know, you understand everything, so. Yeah. The United States has an embezzlement crisis. Mind you, the bank gets it regardless, but if you're trying to get people to act and be a certain way under control, because government is control, then you understand everything. Every time I come out here, they want to start doing lawn work, don't they? They do this shit like once a year. I'll just stand here for a second. It's a beautiful day, though. Shout out to the chat real quick. It's Sending E in the building, squad. Jonathan Lee in the building, squad. TBFB 13, salute, squad. Chemtrails all over this bitch. I saw a chemtrail turn into a wing feather, and then I saw another plane go through it and do another chemtrail through the same chemtrail. I was like, they are stacking. Shout out to Harsh. What's up, my G? Eamon Ross says they had to bail out them Germans and Jewish folks in Argentina. I got a few coworkers out there. They sure did. One piece of advice for a 20-year-old. What was going on when I was 20? I was trying to move to Atlanta to pursue my music dream in a hot spot. What would I learn from that? What could I tell another 20-year-old when it comes to that shit? Hold on, I'm waiting for this leaf blower because they like walked right up to me. I might be able to get to the other side of the building. Hold on. Let me see if I can do a Big Trouble in Little China type of move. This shit feel like a sandstorm for real. No Daru, dun. There's a lot of cars out here. 20-year-old advice, man. There's not one piece of advice. I could write a whole damn book about that shit, but one thing I wish I kind of did different when I made all those moves is that I wish I would have, well, you can't wish that. Never mind. I can't do that because that's not how life works. But when you make a plan to do something that young, especially if it's for your own interest, just make sure that you're fully invested into that interest and it does not rely on somebody else to make way, to agree, to co-sign, whatever it is. Whether it was my music dream, where I moved, where I lived, if I could rewrite that story, I did a few things better, not different, but better. I would have prepared financially a lot better. I mean, how far do we think I can get at 20? Cars and all kinds of things. I would have just did it a lot differently. Oh shit, I walked to the back and there's pennies down here on the ground. Here we go. If you don't know our culture, then it probably won't make sense, but their heads up. Oh shit. That's great. I don't know if that one is. But yeah, make sure you have enough for your dream by yourself. And you may not, because dreams take time, but don't rely on other people is what I'm saying. For your dream, that is, like for what you want to do. Like, because they're not going to follow through, further assist, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And that'll set you back. And it's interesting that I noticed those type of setbacks when you rely on other people in those dimensions is that it almost always happens the wrong way. It's just something about people. I don't know what it is. In the moment, they can be agreeable. And then the next moment, they're creating, the crazy thing is non-creative people would like to create problems. They're very creative at creating problems, understand that. Social ones, dilemmas, setbacks, complaints, feelings, like all that shit gets manifested. And you just don't want to be around those type of people when you're pursuing your thing, especially at 20. It's going to take you a couple more years before you start manifesting results. And then you have a course correction around 28 to 33. And then boom, before you know it, you're an old man like me. So nah, try to create dreams that do not rely on everybody else who cannot see your vision, because they're just going to get in your way. It's not even worth talking about, honestly. Just do it. Just do it. And that was my philosophy too. Like, oh, I didn't have enough, this ain't ideal, but I'd rather do it, and I did it again, and I did it again. I'd rather take those steps and see where they go than sitting somewhere safe or wondering and hoping, and then time goes by either way, and you look back and like, damn, I didn't even get a chance to go to Atlanta. I did. I got a chance to go to Atlanta, Tyler Perry Studios, everything, strip clubs, everything, studios, everything. It just wasn't the whole dream. It wasn't what you would think should have happened at my skill level and what I was trying to do. Same thing when I went to Houston and Seattle. Like, I'm thinking one thing, put myself in position, a new area, new market, new people, new experiences. And for me, that was important, to be around something new. And there's a white angel wing. Come on now, stop fucking playing with me. That's crazy. I just saw that shit float down. But yeah, I would say, yeah, I'll tell a 20-year-old to stick to your guns, keep your mouth shut, and make as many preparations as possible when you make your big decisions that doesn't rely on someone else to also make them with you. Because shit gonna fall through either way. I'm just saying, it'd be better if it fell through on my own accord than falling through artificially by the mood or decision suddenly of another human or group of humans. That's really what's important. I don't even think it was the cost of things. It was just fucked up jealous, whatever the words are for these people. I still don't know to say. I didn't, back in that moment, I mean, you got to think about what am I going to do next? I don't have time to figure out people. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck was that? But, you know, motherfuckers be hating, man. And I ain't talking about on the internet, and I ain't talking about somewhere in an office or a school building. I'm talking about like your people that you knew your whole life will be hating. That ambitious soul is a dangerous soul to have, man. You thinking you could figure out shit and do math by yourself is crazy for real to these people who don't. That's the difference. What's the difference between people like me and you and others and then people who don't? That's the difference. They don't. They simply probably never have. And if they haven't had by the time they're your age, let alone mine, they probably never will, right? They're depending on a certain thing to go a certain way, a certain narrative, a certain skill set, and it just stays the same for years and years and years and years and years. But they don't take that same years and turn it backwards and be like, nothing back then was the same as it is now. So why the fuck is that a good strategy? It isn't. They don't play enough StarCraft for me. So the meta of the game, please don't tell me he's gonna bring the goddamn leaf blower way back here in the corner of the parking lot. Or are you just carrying the trash? I'm about to see. I might have to bail out again. And the wasps are out. Goddamn, almost November. That don't make no sense, bro. '20. Damn, that's almost 20 years ago. 2020, ain't that a bitch? Shit, what advice would I give to myself going on 40? It's the same damn story. That's the illest shit about all of this. Oop. It's 20. It's been 20 years. This loop is different because I didn't rely on those people. That's the funniest thing ever. I'm in the same type of circumstances 20 years ago. The only difference is I made a decision not to, well, I didn't have to make the decision, but my decisions did not require anyone else's input. There we go. And so far, I've been here longer than I was in Atlanta. I've been here longer than I was in Houston. I've been here longer than I've been in Seattle. And the only difference is, I've been had dynamic thought. The only difference, I've been selling beats on the internet. The only difference is the people. Some journeys you just gotta take by yourself. Completely. Now the story ain't over yet, so, you know, count my blessings. But we're just talking about time and duration. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It works. It changes. It gets better. The craziest thing is I'm not even pursuing that dream. Yet still. I think sometimes our dreams are an excuse. You notice that most of your dreams and ambitions are taking you away from where you start. Your own traditions or your own local variables with your family or whatever it is. Your dream usually takes you further away from that, right? I think that you should really, most people should pay attention to the difference between dreamers and everyone else. Everyone else files in, gets along, figures it out for better or for worse. And they stay in that mold. They grow over time, but it's in that mold. There's expansion within the same idea. Whereas dreamers are like, no, I have a whole new idea. Your ass gonna have a whole new cast of characters too. Stop fucking playing. The cost of your new dream is your old reality. I tell a 20-year-old that. Don't be trying to pursue dreams because you think the people that you know at 20 give a fuck. They don't. I'm talking about your mama and your daddy too. If they love you, they love you because they created your vessel. But what's inside your head and your ideas and how you do it and how you walk it out, they have no idea. You feel me? And I wouldn't hold it against anyone. I learned that too. I learned that early though. I didn't give a fuck either way. But And them times when you think about it, you're like, damn, what if then them change? Like, nah, don't even do that story. Don't even waste your time. Because you wouldn't do that to them. We have to be fucking serious. There is no way. They made it all the way to where the fuck I was sitting in the front. And all that parking lot in between us, and they get to the back last? I don't understand anything about life. It's just one of those days. You guys gotta go with the punches. But same thing with life though. As within, so without. Like, you just gotta keep going. By yourself. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's all right now. When you play a video game or RPG, you by yourself, ain't you? Mm-hmm. But there's freedom in that type of not loneliness, but aloneness. And the freedom is your own choices. Like, they're completely your own. Like, that's what you're trying to accomplish. To get the chains off. The mental ones. The artificial limitations based on what you know, don't know. Belief, don't believe. Like, you're trying to figure that out first before anything works, actually. Let me give a plot twist for everybody in their 30s and 40s. Nah, the reason why certain shit don't stick or work is because you're trying to merge two realities. And I'm talking about in the sentiments of your mind and your ideas about them. Like, this is what I always thought, this is what I always felt, this is what I always heard, this is what all my people say, this is what we always talking about, but I'm stepping this direction. You're going somewhere new. So, law of correspondence. That means most of your thoughts, ideas, and everything that didn't get you there already, those are going to have to be renewed as well. I think the Bible, New Testament, they refer to this as born again. Be in this world, not of this world. Exactly. What's being of the world? Its beliefs, its limitations, its systems, its people. It's not saying remove yourself from them. You can't do that anyway. It's saying act as if you're just passing through them. You're not trying to settle down within the same community. You're not trying to upgrade your community either. There's no such principle in colonization, first of all. The whole thing is colonized, Craig. And the thing that's collapsing right now is the colonial parameters. That's what I'm saying. Like, be in this world of a collapse of a colonial force or its legacy, hegemony, but keep fucking moving. Like, shit, the fuck? You gotta figure out a different way. Whereas the world right now is trying to figure out how to get the colonial system to be figured out and work again. Like, we want our colonizer. We want our big federal daddy. We want to fix it because we ain't got no motion either way. I know. That's the illest thing about these things, especially our generation, the last 40, 50 years since, I don't know, the 60s. Ooh, think about it, and I hate to say it, but everything they trained, everything they did to make money, everything they put in school for you to get some degree of understanding to do something else to get more money than others who didn't, is all favored towards what this is right now. This did not become this way. The United States did not become bankrupt. The United States started bankrupt. The United States didn't become oppressive. The United States has always been oppressive. The United States did not just start neglecting its people. The United States exists because it neglected a whole continent of people. Like, and of course, it is not telling you or teaching you that. So once you take the glasses off they put on and you put on the real ones, you go, oh, expected behavior. That's a tech support term. If a person calls in and is like, hey, my phone won't turn on. Did you charge it? Oh, plug it in for me real quick. Try a different outlet. Oh, I see an Apple logo. Expected behavior. He's calling in with a problem. I gotta rank and file it, get his serial number, his phone number, address, and everything, and put an iLog case in that bitch. Attach an article from our knowledge base. Just for me to go resolved. Expected behavior. Did he have a problem? No. To us, he didn't have a problem. But he did have a problem. He was inconvenienced. He didn't understand the dynamics of these sleek devices, I don't know, 15 years ago. Yeah, 15 years ago. He didn't know. Like, oh, shit. It didn't tell me it was dying. There's no little meter on it when it's completely a black crystal. Like, how the fuck am I supposed to know? This is my first time having one of these smartphones. You understand? So I can understand, but I cannot then step on his side of the land and then expect it the way that he expect things to work because he didn't create a fucking iPhone. Exactly. So that's how most of life is, quite literally. In every dimension. You just gotta figure out which side of that you're on in your mission. Mm-hmm. Yep. You just gotta figure out which side of that equation you fit on. And then keep on figuring it out. And then keep on figuring it out. Don't worry. One day you ain't gonna have to worry about figuring shit out. When your ass ain't here. Mm-hmm. Tough. I seen Andrew Tate doing his little social media propaganda for his brand. And he tries to share wisdom with his followers. Whoever those are. I don't even know what that demographic is for real. But he was saying how he was trying to tell them or convince them that you're going to miss the days when you don't have a goal, or he's talking about finances. Like, once you buy the $2 million watch, once you get a couple of houses and a couple of fast cars, once you, whatever the clothes were, whatever the ambitions were, when you just have so much money, but not even how much money you have, but the fact that you have so much money because you already bought everything. And I guess he's projecting, because then it's kind of like, well, what do I buy next? What do I do next? And then he said, you don't even go on the phone, you don't click on links no more. There's like nothing else to achieve or acquire, since most of the things that our eyes are set on have a price tag. And that's half the fucking problem with everybody. Everybody's creating dreams and experiences based on how much something costs. Everyone's problem is based on lack of funding and resources. And that's why whoever bestowed that wisdom to me was like, if your problem can fix by a check, you don't really have a problem. Those aren't problems. I'm not saying that money problems and things like that aren't problems, but no. Problems are things you cannot fix with money. You know what I'm saying? He was giving me a degree. Like, nah, certain things money can't buy. Like health. Those are problems. Situations with people. Those are problems. All kinds of shit. I could think of tons of problems that I've encountered where having more money wouldn't have saved me, right? Thus, those are problems. But he's talking about, well, I beat the game on these settings and there's nothing else to do but to control other people. And, that's what's wrong with the rich people. They run out of things, so they started buying power and yeah. He's speaking with colonizer dollars. So, yeah. The system is created to control others. Because the people who created the system can just print their own money anytime they want to. Do the science. Your government created the pretense and premise that you needed money to buy things. But it prints money. It's a private corporation. So that means they never have to work. They don't. That means they never have to figure nothing out. They don't. Besides you. And thus, that's why the United States government indeed has a problem. It's not a money problem. The United States has a real fucking problem now. The people. Not just their people. The whole world, Craig. The United States and its different private tiers and families of Jewish people, whatever that means. The white folks on both sides. They cousins. Tell them stop playing. These cousins, they spent so much time hypothecating the land and resources of my people that the rest of the world, who has no interest in either force for their own benefit, for their own people, that's how that shit works. When you get nationalities involved and pedigrees and people are actually related to each other, overall, the thinking, the zeitgeist is different. Even if they're forced to trade a certain way, but they traded a certain way for a very fucking long time. And it seems like they're doing just fine without us. That's a problem. Them doing fine without the United States means they do not need the United States printed dollars. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. The United States has way bigger than a money problem. The United States has 7+ billion people who do not need their dollars. It's not universal money. It's not like money for the sake of being money. It's not real. It's like, well, if we don't need you, we don't need what you print. Well, if you don't use what we print, you can't buy things. We can print our own things. I'm pretty sure we've been doing that parallel with our banks. But now our banks are not even using your banks. Have fun. You know what I'm saying? We'll pay the credit cards off. Don't worry about it. We'll sell you your bonds back. Don't worry. I think China just dropped off, what, 51 billion more yesterday. They're discharging debt. So when you see a foreign country say that they bought bonds or sold bonds, what that really means is that bond is to you. Slavery. I know y'all didn't catch that in history class. I know. You don't think that word is unusual from people who just had slaves and they turned into a bank and they started issuing U.S. Treasury bonds right after slavery? You don't find that interesting that it's the same fucking word, Egypt? It is. It quite literally is. You're a slave on the bond market, stock market, chattel. Yeah, it's paper slavery though. It's kind of like instead of you being in the face of the person that's enslaving you or tyrannizing you, they create distance. They create a buffer class. They create paperwork. They create rules, and then they're way off somewhere else. They don't even have to be in the United States. But as long as you're using their Federal Reserve notes, and you have to through the system that you are indoctrinated by, and you live within that system, you operate in that system, you probably don't know anything else until you do, then that's you're kind of stuck, and they can just walk away. Because they know no matter what you do, you'll end up needing a dollar soon. And that dollar is connected to a bond. And that bond and that strength of the value of the dollar is determined by how many other foreign investors rely on it for what they're doing. They're generating interest on your labor. Now that the value of the US dollar in the bond is dropping, the interest itself is too high, so it's no longer a lucrative investment, but you're thinking about it in money and charts and things like that on a stock market chattel slavery bond system. Yeah, what the rest of the world is saying is that, to the United States at least, your slave class isn't that valuable to us. We finally perfected our own. Expected behavior. No honor amongst thieves anywhere, no matter what color they are. You seen the weird McGraw-Hill depictions? They bring the Africans off the boat. They start putting measuring to him. Look how big he is. Look how smart he is. And he had kids, and he can be a breeder, and all this weird fetish that they created. And these are Jewish people writing this, by the way. They weren't here for none of that. But imagine. And then you go, okay. NFL Combine type shit. Owned by who? The same Jewish people, right? That's their idea. So that is not really the reality for, I don't know, Missouri, Minnesota, St. Louis, and all those people. But, you know, that fragment that they put in everyone's mind, and the movies they put in everyone's mind, where you have us, people who identify with the colors, going, whoa. And you have everyone else like, woo, that wasn't us. I guess we're freer than we think. Nope. Whether McGraw-Hill or the Jewish boy was targeting you in the narrative or not, you're still using the same United States Treasury note via the Federal Reserve on a bond market. And if you have a birth certificate and a social security number, which you're required because of taxes, which are also Federal Reserve and IRS, none of which is part of your federal government, by the way. Woo! Oh man, they didn't see that one coming. They didn't know that. They tell you, but they don't tell you. I get it. Connotative linguistics is a bitch. But yeah, I think why everything's so messy and loopholes and I didn't know that and this expected behavior. It's slavery. It's free roam slavery. You don't run your own government. You're a slave. You can't just pave and make your own roads. You're a slave. You can't just create your own postal system and say, fuck the mailboxes and the land taxes. You're a slave. You can't just get up, go, and leave this country and live somewhere else without checking in with your daddy. You're a slave. Everything that limits us as a United States citizen is the same exact limits that a slave would have. You just have a bigger backyard to work in. They don't rule the waters, but take your ass off there. Watch what they do with the Coast Guard. They don't really rule space. Have you noticed the UAPs? But see if your ass want to fly a drone around here. That's the enforcement part. But if you go to an area where it says, oh, it's illegal for you to have a drone this high, well, if no one saw the drone in the forest, did it make a sound, bitch? Stay frosty. So, like, you understand everything. Like, no. But like I said, now they're starting to devalue their soldiers. Oh, my God. So if they devalue the soldiers, what's going on? They're finding it hard to keep together their enforcement class of this bond system, because the military is connected directly to the financial system. Don't miss that shit. On the Pentagon it is. So if they don't have the money they need to pay their soldiers or their TSA attendants or their furloughed federal employees, which keeps the work in the paper and the ideas and the system flowing, if they're recessing that or they're compressing those arms, its octopus arms of its Steven or its Leonardo DiCaprio and Django, if it's slicing that in half, what does that tell you? Why do you think the first thoughts is revolution? American Revolution is technically members of a tyrannical king, slaves. Why do you think they call it the Civil War again? Well, it's about, the revolution between locals, companies, and their slaves. Like, you notice all their wars that they reference are slave wars? Probably not. Probably not, because they don't say that, but they tell you the slaves were the ones fighting the war, so it's a slave war if there's no one else to fucking fight it, genius. Everybody ain't a fucking business owner, no goddamn 1800s. What the fuck is a business? There's no Federal Reserve. There's no LLCs. Like, the fuck wrong with people? Oh, you talking about the mom and pop stores? I mean, when motherfuckers minding their own fucking business. Yeah. Barter systems. Yeah, when you use your own currency. Yeah. Everyone keeps saying they wish the things were more like the idea or the thing they heard of our other families who weren't dealing in slavery. Yes, and that's why we didn't have money. If money is ubiquitous with Federal Reserve notes. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. It's real simple. Why would anyone who never had corporations prior adopt corporations if they don't need them, if they've been surviving prior without them? Ding, 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 ding. So then they incentivize it. Well, if you did do that and use these things, and you can get these goods, and you can do these things, and then you can get our help. So the people that we send to intimidate you stop coming through because we'll arrest them. But we'll have to arrest you too if you sign up for it. Same story. Come on now, stop playing with me. Some mafia type shit, right? From the Catholic Church. Imagine that. Well, who's the colonizer first? The Catholic Church. All right, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Is that the Catholic Church of today? Probably not. They're going through the same thing. They've been running out of money. All those lawsuits, the fact that during the pandemic, he rescinded Dum Diversas or Unum Sanctum, like just in saying it, like we're no longer pursuing those times. And we need all of our liquid investments back. And that's what caused this financial collapse, by the way. It's no longer being backed by the Vatican Bank. Now it's no longer being backed fully by China. Japan is pulling back as well. And that's interesting. Since they bombed the shit out of Japan. Shit, they bombed Tokyo worse than everything else. They don't even talk about that. You see any nuclear radiation anywhere in Japan? Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Nuclear weapons were never real. Yep. And now you got that Cloud Atlas thing floating around. It's very close. It's not way far in space. If we can see it, if the Webb telescope is taking pictures of it near the moon or sun, oh, it's under the firmament, baby. And the firmament goes clink at 7 kilometers up. So whatever that craft is not as big as they're saying it is because they're scaling it to distance. But if you scale the distance down, that motherfucker's still big enough to go behind the goddamn moon. So now that they got that homeboy down here, they acting funny. I think NASA just activated their space defense something protocol, aka they're sending an emailing list out to all the astronomers around the place to keep their eyes on this, because it keeps disappearing, then going fast, then going slow, then it goes off for it, then they lose track of it, then it comes back. Like, comets and meteorites don't do that. So if NASA's saying pay attention, But they haven't paid attention with what they have 25 to 50,000 satellites in space, but they need to call a fucking astronomer. Do the science. That means they don't have that many satellites. Thank you for my TED talk, because Starlink would not need to exist if they did. Yittity. So you see the lies on the lies on the lies. Why do they lie so much? Because they get paid to lie. Now do it again. Why do the people who lie the most get paid the most? You're gonna see a correlation soon. Why do the people who cap the most get the most money just in social media? You're gonna start seeing a pattern emerging. Why are the people who never know how to do anything always in charge of things, telling everyone else what to do? You're gonna see everything soon. You are describing slavery. This ain't normal. This society isn't casually awesome because it fought really hard to do better for everybody. No. The people who decided to enslave everybody ain't fight nobody. It picked a team of slaves like going to a pickup at a basketball court. You pick 5, I pick 5, they fight each other, and whichever side wins, yeah, we'll let you run it. They cast in lots on people. And they don't even be their own people. That's why it's so callous. That's why it's so frivolous. You go to a corporation, the corporation ain't a person hiring their family members. They hiring you, a complete fucking stranger. They're not eating at your house. Now think about all that social distance in between that relationship. And now when the relationship is severed because the money, the wages, the benefits are disappearing, then people want to start talking about humanity and feeding the children and looking out for each other. The whole time everything was fine, they weren't having that conversation with all their surplus income, were they? Because if they had all that time and all that money with their surplus income, they would have created the problems or the problem solvers way before it became a problem because they would have studied fucking history. No, what did they do? They spent, and I'm saying that's what the system does, but spent, and caused super inflation. Right, economists, now do the science. Thank God. Thank God they can't fool a fool again. So most people are starting to question the humanity of their bond system. And hopefully y'all tell them, like, look, I don't know if they told you, but they never freed slaves, guys. They emancipated them. That's a very strong word for not free. They changed the name and the rules of the game, but they ain't changed the game itself. You call it 21 or you can call it 11. If you miss that shot, you go back. The end. Like, it doesn't matter. It's still spades, even if you have a big joker and a little joker. Spades. It just doesn't matter. Like, any amendment, it just doesn't matter. You're amending the game. And the game is slavery. Does it mention slaves in the United States Constitution? Yes. So why the fuck would my people have a fucking United States Constitution? We wouldn't. So what is that? Something foreign. Why is it still here? Because they're occupying. How do they occupy? With a military. Who's in their military? Slaves and everyone else. Why do they do that if they're slaves? Because they get paid. So what frees them? Stop being paid. What's going on now? Keeping up with the U.S. bond market of slavery is very expensive, especially since its certificate note has no value. The United States reference model for a U.S. bond and dollar from it is what? It's debt, right? That's why I was selling bonds to other countries, because it's like you could buy other people's debt. Well, the countries could buy way more debt than you can, so you imagine the science here. Now those countries are like, I don't want to buy that debt no more. What happens to your dollar? Well, inflation's going down because we're going to burn the money that the people offshored and no longer using to buy our goods or create businesses in which it circulates. So the dollar is getting stronger and we're not giving you more of them. Okay, that's not going to fix anything. Why? Because the Federal Reserve still says that the United States owe them $38 trillion. That's $1 trillion a year so far, guys. According to their numbers. I know it's higher than that, but the numbers they give us. When we started this little season of Dragon Ball Z, it was at 37. It's already 38. So just do the science. When things were semi together and just falling apart, they got $1 trillion in debt. Things are falling apart and not looking too good, and you got one more year in front of you. What do you think that number is going to be? Do you think it's going to be at the same rate, or is it going to accelerate? Meaning, if nothing changes in the GDP or slavery system, we're going to be at $40 trillion in debt. So it doesn't matter what the AI does. It doesn't matter what our ideas are. It doesn't matter how much we save. It doesn't matter how many businesses people throw on Amazon and Etsy. The reference point of their monetary transactions is the debt itself. That number is going up. So each dollar is worth less. Worthless. Not worth less. Worth less. It's worthless. Because every dollar represents a fraction of $38 trillion of debt. So how much is a dollar worth? Well, one USD dollar is whatever fraction of 38 trillion of credit. You can buy things with that credit. It's a credit-based system. Absolutely. That's why there's an interest rate attached to everything. Have you noticed it? Moody's. The United States lost its credit report. I'm ignoring those emails. Fuck a credit score, bitch. What the fuck am I going to do with a credit score right now? But the United States lost its AAA credit rating. It's now a AA credit rating. Can you imagine? It lost a whole letter. AAA. It lost a whole vowel. Foley. Like, oh my God. They're getting cooked, ain't they? So if it doesn't have a AAA credit rating, then it's no longer what you're going to be seeking to invest in. So how does it decrease $1 trillion worth of debt when it lost $1 trillion with 3 A's? How much you think it's going to lose with 2 A's? Do the science. Stop playing. Credit rating dropping, meaning your spending power and your ability to manipulate and force things is also dying as well. This is all lower correspondence. You can't afford these things. You can't afford your soldiers. You can't afford to feed your people. Blah, 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 blah. Donald Trump. You the one working for the goddamn slavery notes. And you the damn one stacking them, saving them, and buying them, and keeping the slavery system going. You don't know that, though. Because you call it everything else. You use the substitute words. You call it a dollar when it's a note. It's not a dollar bill. It's a Federal Reserve note. The Federal Reserve is not part of you. It's like having a peso. You can spend it if, you know some Mexicans, they'll probably take them. And you might be able to exchange. You might be able to barter debt and credit for goods. Can you imagine that shit? It's not a dollar bill no more, man. It's right there. Look at the top. That says Federal Reserve Note. $1. $1 bill. To who? Well, who's signing the top of the paper? Federal Reserve. Is the Federal Reserve yours? No. Is the Federal Reserve the Treasury's? No. Is the Federal Reserve Donald Trump's? No. Is the Federal Reserves in Washington, D.C.? No. Does the Federal Reserve belong to North America? No. Does the Federal Reserve belong to my family? I don't know about that one, but probably no. And the Federal Reserve. So where's the Federal Reserve? Who runs the Federal Reserve? You don't know. So this thing right here is a symbol that you owe somebody that you don't know. Slavery. You entered into a business contract with a person you'll never meet. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And the best that we get out of people who've been groomed in this society recently is, well, what else are we going to do about it? I got to feed my... Like, shut the fuck up. I thought your ancestors were fighting in wars and stuff over the same issues. Imagine if they acted like that. You wouldn't be able to do that stuff. Cut it out. Cut it the fuck out. Cut it the fuck out. So that's what I'm saying. Like, the school, the movies and things aren't influential enough to say, these are the catalysts for change. They go, well, someone's going to come and do it. Who do you think going to do it if you're the slave? Oh, you ain't for the perfect. You ain't for Nat Turner to come back so you could trade on him and turn him in so he can get cooked. You ain't for a Harriet Tubman. You on YouTube right now. Stop fucking playing with me. So, like, I don't even understand nothing. The mind control education system works. And now they're defunding that. At the same time, people ain't have enough kids to be mind controlled. So I don't know where they're going to land that at. But at the very end, less valuable currency, less quality goods. And the saddest part of the whole story is why everyone's looking at that. All that is connected to the people. Less slaves, less people. Papa John's. They did all that walking around and leaf blowing, and they didn't even pick up all the trash. These boys, they just be paying anybody, right? And that's my point. They get paid to do this job, and they did a shitty job. Now imagine your government that gets paid no matter what. Expected behavior. Shout out to everybody. Everybody. JPX in the building. Shogun L is in the building. Oh, shit. Ying Goat. Can't introduce big dreams to small and minded individuals, man. Come on now. Ankit Gupta. Oh, Egypt and India. I know that's right, Barada. Ruffer says, are you a musician? That's a very interesting question. Basketball Jones. Family will be jealous of your success, and it's crazy. PT Cruising. It's not just the success because of how much value you have, but the fact that you followed your own accord and it worked. That you followed your dream and it worked, and they had a dream and they never followed it. That's really the cataclysm, the catalyst. Amen Ra, Kenyans supporting Israel, let them. JPX. A-Lane, possible, what's good, man? True. Haru says hello to everybody. All of them are banker slave wars, yep. A UFO identified fried object, come on now, that sounds like some KFC in space. Bad, retarded people get all the rewards of fake fiat, yep. And so it tells you a little bit about who created that idea. Ignorance is bliss, says Ashri, and that's the sad thing, bro. Like, I understood that for years and years and years until I was approaching 40. I was like, but this ignorance ain't feeling no more blissful. It's a seraphim ideology. Oh, shit, he done bring out the big words today, boy. I-O-U, come on now. That's the first half of the vowels. We, yea, we, or second half. Y-E-A-O-U-I. That is the angelic vowel order. Synonym. So, yeah, man. I knew I heard something about it. Well, Kedanda. The fuck? Yo, Flies, y'all got the whole fucking desert, bro. Y'all got the whole fucking desert. Leave me alone. That's how my people be just about people, too. Like, y'all got everything else we don't live at. Go over there. No, we gotta be right next to you and try to get you on this 360, though, because that's what we're sent to do. Dumb diverses, see? Wasn't to do business, it wasn't to be saved, it wasn't to be friends, it wasn't to move, it wasn't to escape tyranny. All of them are fucking liars in that story that they write that justifies the lie of today. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Imagine if we studied or asked everybody else. You'll get different answers. That should be a problem if they told you the truth. So that shows you that the indoctrination means most people don't care about the truth. Indoctrination shows you that most people don't go fact check. And indoctrination tells you that at the end of the day, all that matters is if I get this Federal Reserve note because somewhere in my genetics, my ancestors came here and were fine with slavery. Or being a slave. Or having them. Now look at how most people raise their kids. You'll understand everything. Don't let them blame the Bible again for being shitty people. The Bible was just their justification. And everyone forgot about that because of education. Now everyone can read other books. As long as it ends with you getting a Federal Reserve note, I bet you they don't give a fuck. That's why I like the brothers who do consciousness, when they're like, they call it grifting. Like when they're getting all animated and blah, 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 and they talking about the white man and the Jews a little bit. The reason why nothing really happens to them is because they're still getting Federal Reserve notes. They're not telling people to do something to attack that. Neither am I, for real. It's going to die either way. But I don't even want to get in the way or get hurt trying to make a statement about it either. Because what the fuck are we talking about? I already read about Nat Turner's rebellion. The people that he freed turned on him. Nat Turner was turned in by a black guy. Do the science. I bet most people didn't know that. So who you think cooked them and ate them? Thank you for joining my TED Talk. Lord willing, that story never happened at all because it's kind of gory. Because they suggest that they don't have his body because they cooked him. Maybe they don't have his body because he got away because he was a Moor. Motherfucker probably knew how to swim. But anyway, we'll let them write the stories about nothing. Shit crazy out here. Show else a check. The crazy, hold on, run that shit back. Much reality 7 says, too much reality 7, 9. That's the crazy part. It seems that there's always bad guys that don't get fired. Cutthroat. Bad parenting gets unlimited pass all the time. The village got silenced a couple decades ago. And the further we get away from it, the harder it is to put it back together. Thus, we're not going that direction either way. I don't think God wanted us to bring back the old paradigm. That old paradigm was trouble. We're doing a new thing. That's what I heard. I don't think our people are imaginative enough. Like, did you know you can create a reality that everything works without referencing the one that doesn't? I know that shit crazy. We just have a few mountain pieces in our way, that's all. And what's crazy is, you know what the illest, silliest shit about all this is that the biggest zeitgeist problem isn't our problem. The value of the dollar is not your responsibility. You don't have any. You might be able to invest in some, though. You might have some U.S. bonds. I can't assume that by everybody. But unless you have bonds, you don't actually have anything invested, into the system going, The same way they print a fake Federal Reserve note, trust me, whatever bank comes next will print theirs too. And they want to make that shit digital? Now imagine how easy that shit is. If you have a centralized bank app, and then you wake up one morning and the little dollar symbol turns into something else. That's it. That's it. That's why the tech bros keep bankrupting the system. Because they're borrowing U.S. federal treasury notes, angel investors, and wasting everyone's time and money. Because it's never going to work. But the volume of investment in it is an opportunity for old people who never studied what I'm talking about, who benefited the people in the system as just people. And they go, wait a minute. What happens if we lose all the value of our money that I'm throwing in investments? Good question. Maybe you should buy some silver if you can find it. Maybe you should buy some gold if it's valuable. You're just gonna make the price go up. And that's the beautiful thing about this story, boy. That's what I'm saying. God is a funny critter, man. God is a funny critter, bro. I don't understand nothing, but I understand this shit. The people who fuck this system over of our generations, like in recent time period, with all the millions and billions and friends to make it, and they invest in all these other things to give them more control and favor and interest rates, they now have to, because of such, invest in silver and gold, right? But they can't put all their money in silver and gold because that shit get kind of heavy, and you can't just go to fucking Chick-fil-A with that shit. Yeah, unless you're in what, Texas or Florida? Won't. They're taking gold coins again. But anyway, so now you diversify your portfolio into that, but the value of that is based on the USD. So if gold is going up, the value of your USD is going down. So the more gold they buy with USD, the less valuable the rest of their USD is. And you can't make that type of shit up. Because crypto has introduced algebra. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Yay! You had silver and gold, legal tender, by the way, and copper as well. Don't sleep. You can invest in copper too. It's just as valuable. Look at all your wires. So you got those. Then you have the paper note, the middleman, for credit. And then you have the crypto middleman fiat note. And now you got X, Y, and Z. Everybody robbing Y. X was first. X created Y. And Z is based on Y. Everybody with the Ys is trying to buy some X's. which brings the value intrinsically down on the Y. And then most people fuck this up because they put it into the invisible crypto and several others in between it circulating. So the Y is just getting fucking attacked on both sides. And then the only way that your dollar or bond can get more valuable is based on what? What the federal government does with it. Ding, 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 ding. We're hosed. Yes, us US dollar holders, we're fucked. If you're looking at the ups and downs of things, like, we're fucked. Nah, we're fucked. We a $2 trick with a $2 bill printed in Mexico, fucked. Like, nah, buddy. It's okay though. You notice, I'm outside walking. My Jordan's falling apart a little bit. I'll get some new ones one day. I ain't worried about it. But no matter what I do, if the federal government doesn't pay off its goddamn debt, we're fucked either way. It's not our debt, it's theirs. They're lending it to us. Lending means borrow, meaning if it's not yours, you're not responsible to fix it, right? You know what lending is, right? Yeah, they lend them out to you to go into circulation through their banks. Yeah, you're just a catalyst. You can hold a lot of them. You're gonna hold all of them by yourself and take it to their bank still. Understand everything. You're just moving it around. That system was in place to steal our land originally, 100-something years ago, right? Shitty business practices, put people into debt, make them work for you, steal their daughters or steal your land when you die off, which you'll probably die faster working with these niggas. So understand everything. There's a lot of unclaimed land out there, Indian. And it's unalienable. When you get your nationality back, you wouldn't identify as an Indian either. That's the pro tip. Indian is the placeholder for landowner in their fucked up system. But because people talk about Indians by calling us that, yeah, we're the Indians they're calling Indians, but we're not Indians. If you understand everything. Yeah, we're black people, but I'm not black. Yeah, they'll call me African American, but I'm not African. Same thing with Indian. And in fact, that was like Portuguese and Spain that came up with that. Because I could have sworn they came from Europe and North Africa. Alrighty, now you understand my TED Talk. Had nothing to do with their skin color. Had everything to do with what they had and what they wanted. There you go. Now you're seeing it. They weren't hating on us because we were black. They was hating on us because they didn't have shit. Wow. The kingdoms over here just let you have shit? Yeah. What have y'all been doing? Y'all kind of sound like them, but you got a weird accent. You pick me? What's going on, Shane? No, Shane. Oh, you the Hicks from Europe. You the trailer park trash from Europe. I know that's right. On King James. Ain't nothing but a bunch of fucking illiterate motherfuckers come over here. How the fuck they gonna teach me how to speak English? You see? Listen to their accents in the goddamn earliest movies of the 1900s. They don't speak like this. They don't have diction like people from New Jersey, New Jerusalem. No, they don't. So they couldn't have taught us because Northerners weren't slaves. They gotta make their mind up about this story, boy. No, Shane. Why you think them Baltimore niggas sound like that? Too blue. They all black like that. White people don't talk like that. Uh-huh. Hi, Moors. Baltic Moors. How you doing? None of that rhyme with Africa. Definitely not that fucking accent. It's a Moorish kingdom, bro. The fuck? This is they badass kids. Yep. That's the story. Right next to Virgin Maryland, where the Bible comes from. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? It's right there on the map. I wonder where Jesus was. I'll go to Jamestown if I were you. I haven't been to Jamestown yet. I gotta put that shit on my GPS. walk out there and shit start manifesting. All them feathers just start falling. I know. Might be in the water. P33 GBF3. Shout out to Mr. Now Nasty Work. That's true. Yeah, yeah. Hopefully, Federal Reserve Daddy and federal government Trump comes together like go tanks and work on the United States credit score real quick, just like they told us to. Maybe they should work on saving their money and not spending so much, just like they told us to. Maybe they should invest in other things that are for helpful and grow. Become smart investors with AI and computers, just like they told us to. Maybe everybody running the stupid paper government today alive should do every fucking thing that they swore to God that their kids and their kids' associates should do. Because if the idea was to do it, then why is the motherfuckers from the 60s and before telling all of us that that's how we should do it if they have never fucking done it? They have never fucking budgeted accordingly. They have never fucking worked hard with integrity. They have never fucking been merit in a meritocracy. They have never fucking been honest. They have never fucking done anything that the citizens educated in the school system were told to do and seemed decent to us. To come back out into an indecent system and wondering why the shit don't work. Wondering why people are having mental health issues. I'm gonna tell you, what the number one leading cause of a catalyst for a fucking mental health issue is the fact that you feel like you crazy because of how you feel is incompatible with your insane fucking environment. But I have hope for you. No shit, Sherlock. Ain't nothing to go crazy about. You are right. You're noticing things. You're right. Motherfuckers are playing with you. You're right. But then, unfortunately, who cares? Hopefully you. You got to care about you more than anyone else do. I think it's kind of in the source code, man. You got to stop comparing you to everyone else anyway. That's the thief of joy. If you're feeling sad and depressed. If comparison is the thief of joy, then stop comparing your mess to everyone else's. They got better masks on, that's all. Trust me, you're noticing it now. You know what else they slashed? Oh man, speaking of subjects, Trump just slashed the, not OSHA. There's something with a SHA in it, but it's a mental health arm of the federal government. They slashed the funding for federal funding of whatever the mental health programs were. Did you know that? Do the science on that. Not saying that money ever made it to us. I'm just saying the narrative around it, the branch in your school, the agenda, the people, the LLCs, the non-for-profits, cooked. They can't borrow from that with their LLC no more. Now you understand everything. That's where those federal grants were coming from. The government wasn't spending that money, they were allocating it. Then you apply for it, and as a person, slave, you're supposed to use it to help slaves out. But slaves don't help slaves out. Thank you for joining my TED Talk. Thank you for joining my TED Talk. You start to see where this shit's going. Y'all blaming Trump for the motherfuckers where you live applying for those accounts, getting them, and then never doing nothing with them. That's why I'm easier on the Trump narrative, because we could blame him for being a shitty person, but you have to do that for your entire government. But what I'm not going to do is pretend like because Trump is a president, that had anything to do with the misappropriation from resources for the people down here, because it's people down here that apply for those resources that are supposed to be taking care of the people down here with their federal government daddy's credit card. Thank you for joining my TED Talk. That's it. Cut it out. Cut it the fuck out. He's cutting down all the federal grant programs because they have never done anything to help the people. So if we're talking about mental health, and they cut out millions for mental health, but mental health is exploding, Not an efficient program. If they had funding for immigrants and getting them on fast track to do the thing right and speak English and contribute to the society in taxes, and they haven't, they don't need to fund it. If they're funding healthcare initiatives, you know, all of our sisters love a non-for-profit about health and mental health and cancer and marches and walks and fucking little kiosks and little tents somewhere bringing awareness with a little printout on a fucking Epson stylish jet. You know, nah, nigga. Why people still sick, crazy, hungry, and all the things that you borrowed billions for since I've been alive? We don't even have new information. We don't even have new techniques. We don't even have new medication. And then you go, well, big pharma. No, I'm talking about all these people borrowing the federal dollars. You skipping the steps. Don't skip them. No, I'm talking about right down here on your grassroots level. Because the federal government doesn't fucking exist, guys. It's a bank. The fuck? Federal government's not a person. It's not an enemy. It's not a king, remember? It's an idea. It's regulated by the people in those ideas. They get grandfathered in. And then you go to school and learn how to think like them a little bit with the handicaps on. And then someone figures it out because they know someone, mentors, people who manipulate the system, foreigners who manipulate others, like, and they go, oh yeah, if you really want to do the business, then set you up this, get you a brand new bank account, go ahead and file you a loan, and blah, 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 and you get some money home. And it's not surprising to me, actually, when you know ChatGPT can do all of that and make it like seem like anyone's competent enough to withdraw from those accounts, which is exactly why they're shutting it down. You saw what motherfuckers did with the PPP loans. Was that the federal government that misused all that tax money? Did any of those PPP loan people start new businesses and make a profit and pay off their employees? Did any of those PPP loans start up a fucking food bank? Then why the fuck do the same PPP loan scammers get to fucking complain about there's not enough money in the same funding for food stamps? Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. Donald Trump ain't a fucking hypocrite. These motherfuckers who act like they know what's going on are. He doing exactly what I expect a colonizer to do. The question is, all these people down here manipulating the system, trying to be on social media looking cute, they're manipulating too, ain't they? They worse than a damn colonizer. They're a slave acting like they're free because they got more slave dollars. Yeah, thank you for joining my TED Talk. That one right there is the hardest one because, like, it don't matter what the white man, if you want to use the white man as a placeholder, do. It's like, nah, I watch all these fucking fools do it during the pandemic. They're afraid for their life, but the first thing they figure out how to do is scam the fucking federal government. And then when they scammed the federal government and got all those allocations, I seen them in person. They gave them certificates, not cash. Their check is a bond. I saw it in real life. 40,000, 60,000, 80,000. Like, I'm talking about all at once. Those people I know ain't do shit with it. Started buying designer things. Try to start lifestyle blogs. Don't even fucking know how to blog yet. Don't even fucking know how to edit a video. But for thousands of dollars. Niggas like us had to get it out the trenches. Like, I gotta save up my little $300, $500 paychecks. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah. That's why Andrew Tate was saying, you appreciate when you didn't have it, when you still had a goal, because all the work you have to do. Don't forget that. PPP loan scams are real. If you're trying to figure out where your federal government funding for food stamps went, you should also remind all those people about the PPP loans they never paid back. AKA, they didn't use that bond, that loan, to make a profit. So how the fuck is giving them more money going to solve shit? Thank you for joining my TED Talk. That's why they all at home laying on their beds now. And that dumbass 2-year lease they signed with the rest of their PPP loan. And you notice that the sisters that were asked from the federal government would be the main sister you contact on how to get a fucking PPP loan. Thank you for joining my TED Talk. Don't forget the food stamps people who showed you how to get $4,000 a month in food stamps. Nigga, I'd have been happy if they gave me 100. 4,000. Oh, she ain't fucking enough, I guess. What's going on out here? Same story. Be the same people who work for the feds that teach people how to maximize their benefits. Thresholds. Same thing with fucking Pension, same thing with fucking military benefits. There's always an inside person doing that. In any other job, they would call that embezzlement. I know. Well, everyone else does it. The white man does it. The rich people do it. I might as well do it too. Problem with that novel idea is that you did it and everyone else like you did it too. There is no others. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Because if there was others, you just robbed them. Oh my God. Oh my God. He's on fire. Yeah, I know. I'm just talking about common sense though. It sucks to be aware a little bit. Donde. It's like bandy. Yo, I'm telling you, if there ain't a God, I need them to explain some of this shit. We back. Hopefully I can get my fucking skin tone back because my fucking forehead's still light-skinned. Mr. Now, Shogun TBFB. DJ Georgie Porgy in the building. 3. Dirty BMWs getting dragged out of apartment spaces. I noticed that too. Well, Vegas, you always notice it because of the strip and the parking. But yeah, a lot of cars are being repoed. A conglomerate of fraud and scumbaggery. Yep. The modern bag starter kid is buying a camera and saying some shit. And start saying some shit. What side? Georgie says, yo, this motherfucker's always crying about how China's stolen intellectual property, but America ain't building shit. No artificial sun, no underwater servers, no best electric car, no best phone, no best bitches, nothing. We ain't got nothing. 3 PPP food stamps is crazy. Come on now. Facts. Nobody even asks where is the money. One of my patients told me a Salvation Army is being investigated for fund misappropriation and might get shut down. I hope not. The problem is, it will. So, Joe King says, the fuck did Job Crops do besides help young people find jobs? Oh, what did Job Corps do besides find young people find jobs? They got subsidies from the federal government to do whatever, including all of the weird shit they're doing to those kids. See, that's what's fucking people up. Something's a business, especially an organization under colonialism. It markets what its function is, and then it gets a loan from the federal government to function. Whether or not it does that function or not, that it advertises to you, makes no difference to them, because as long as they meet the thresholds, paperwork, interviews, testimonies that the feds check in, semi-annually or whatever the fuck it is when they go around and see if everything's on up and up, and the fail-safe is the complaints of the people. But if you can't get your complaints handled by the manager or the district manager, AKA it never escalates up the chain, that abuse runs rampant. Now you do that over day after day, decade after decade, and then the funds are drying up. And then you go back into your thought space like, wait, these people are collecting money for years, helping people, helping the homeless, doing these things. We know they've helped somebody, but what about the rest of the money if they ain't help everybody? They must have kept it for themselves. This is what you're learning. Everybody using the federal bank, meaning officially applying for federal loans and grants and all those special programs that they didn't teach none of us about. But you gotta think about it. They're using our land and our resources, so why would they teach us? But when you understand that everyone who participated that was an immigrant in any mix thereof, they have been embezzling. This whole fraud-ass system, in the fraud-ass Federal Reserve, in the fraud-ass 1933 Bank Emergency Act, all those people who were frauded, the descendants and these new immigrants who seen it, they grew up with the mentality on how to fraud it again. Whether it's getting back for what they did to the cold crush or something else. The difference with a lot of our families is when that shit happened everywhere, down south, we still owned our land. We did not inherit that land from slavery.
If we had that land before 1933, we had that land before 1833. If we had that land before 1833, we had that land before 1733. If the idea is that the federal government has to sell you land that belongs to Indians, which they would not sell no Indian that looked like me anything. Thank God for my grandmothers. Now you understand everything. So yeah. It's a Ponzi scheme. They borrow $1 million, they spend 1,000. And if you do the records, like all the money and all the counting and all the little paperwork that said it went there, it going there doesn't mean that it had an effect on us. They move it to another account, another LLC, a shell corpse. They might get with a contractor, they homeboy, and like, yeah, on paper, I want you to sell us a pallet of whatever, but what's really going to happen is you're never going to deliver it. But now you have accounting. As long as you adjust your output on your side of things, maybe it'll get stolen. We'll get the insurance. Maybe your homeboy will take it and sell it on the street. We'll multiply it times 2. Do you understand everything? That is the United States way. That was a Ponzi that used to be, I guess, strong-armed by Northerners, bankers, New York. And then Miami, apparently, with cocaine and drugs. And then Los Angeles, always, since the damn gold rush. Vegas just the buffer where the fencers are. Everybody else is just occupying my damn grandmother's land and playing the slave game for benefits. Now notice, because all those people who filled in wouldn't take this type of dialogue serious, now that all the benefits are going away from the embezzlement streams, the embezzlers are going to go away to save face. The federal government, Donald Trump's taking a trip today. Like, everybody is out of the way of the angry people, citizens. So now the citizens are like, yo, when is our government going to do something for us? My question to you citizens, they ain't been here since my grandma been here. When has the government did anything for anyone? It's called we the people. The people do the things. Your federal government is managing a trust that's bankrupt because of their ass. Now they're borrowing from another one with the Ashkenaz and is whooping their ass. Because the Ashkenaz have a different agenda than all of you niggas. That's what we've been trying to tell you. But they're like, oh man, at the end of the day, I won't pay my rent tomorrow with this shit. You're not. You're going to run out of months to where you can even say you have a rent to pay tomorrow. Then what? We'll just barter. Now the people that own your building burn them down for insurance. Rex 64. What is it? Rex 84? Rex 64? And any last ditch efforts to hold on to value or liquidations, they will allow them to tear these cities up and burn them to the fucking ground, cash out, discharge debt, collect insurance value, and then move the fuck on. They had no intention of staying the fuck here since they're running this Ponzi scheme just as long as they live. It's not a long con. It's not for their future generations of people they want to bring into this world as slaves. No, it's for the rest of their life when they retire. This is their pension. So if it's threatened, if the currency is threatened and they got to make a last minute decision, a lot of these cities and a lot of these developments that are lately, they'll burn to the fucking ground. And you would think it's terrorism. Why do black people always do it to their own neighborhoods? Then all of a sudden black people own land and shit. Shut the fuck up. No. The investors, like, you can squat there as long as it's there, yeah. But you don't need utilities. You had to deal with thieves and robbers. You had to deal with the fact that the local police force authorized to protect property ain't gonna show up for your ass. I don't think people understand which way that could go. Because they think this is real. Like, what I mean by this, their version of what they're looking at, they think the version they were taught is real. No, that's the facade. You're given a language model to describe the colonization and slavery and abuse of the people of the land that you're involved with. And when people of the land speak up, you're like, oh man, them niggas is crazy. When the people of the land speak up, like, man, you ain't no Indian. When the people of the land speak up, like, man, the Bible, the Jews, man. That's what we're interfacing with. A whole bunch of people don't know shit. It's 6th grade reading level or less. This story doesn't start with the federal government. Does it? But you notice that everyone's talking about the federal government. They missed it. They're just trying to go up the chain of command. Well, my jobs are gone, so I can't complain about my boss. Well, my state government been fucking up the whole time, of course, especially since the pandemic. All right, it's Donald Trump's fault. Y'all voted for him. What the fuck are you talking about? The federal government doesn't manage state or city affairs. It has federal agencies there because there's federal banks there. What the fuck going on in your community when it comes to people and immigration? That's the people in your community doing that stupid. You want to vote for new mayors and shit, but you never do. You want to impeach Trump, you need to impeach your government and your governor and your senator too. That's how that shit gets to you. They don't even do shit. Placeholders, bank account attendants, Excel spreadsheet budgeters. In a world where everyone's reading less and their math is at 33% passing, their kids, 33% passing, 40% passing on math and reading. How many Smyth-ELs did California give out to immigrants who can't speak no English? Then they can't do it, no algebra either. Like, that's the majority of the workers, right? Foreign immigrants, indentured servants, basically, right? Fighting for their right to pay taxes. Dred Scott shit, right? I know what it feels like and looks like and sounds like, but notice how if it felt and looked and sounded like that, then that wouldn't explain why everything is failing. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Everything is supposed to fail because of what it is. The narrative that we all share wasn't supposed to fail, and it did. Now people are like reaching for feeling, like, well, one of you motherfuckers did it. Mm-hmm. You should find a bathroom and look in the mirror and start there. That's what they're doing, man. Too Much Reality 7. Those words are important to hear. We appreciate you. I appreciate you for being here. We in here. DJ Georgie Purdy says, no violence, no violence, but the Second Amendment is the right to bear arms. This is the Biggie Small dead. Nobody fired a shot. 1,000. Show them. Oh, yeah. Yeah, if we were supposed to rebel against a tyrannical constitutional republic thing, you would have did that as soon as they said the word Democrats. It's a constitutional republic. How do you have Democrats? I know that. Common sense, man. If I ever went to school again, you know what I'm talking about? Because your teacher would never answer that question either. They would just told you what McGraw-Hill, the Jewish guy from Israel, said, and he only been there for 10 years as of 1950. So miss me. Miss me with the bullshit. That's the problem, bro. We weren't allowed to ask questions for real. Because they leveraged your social anxiety as a 6-year-old, 8-year-old against you. And then if you did have a good point from your home and you brought it into class, then your classmates would make fun of you. Nerd, geek, he's a dunce. He went to detention. He had to go somewhere else. He was arguing with the teacher. And then you get into fucking Twitter politics in real fucking life. I lived through it. I seen it. That's people that did that, not the white man, not the government. It'd be your own classmates, nigga. A bunch of slaves going to indoctrination camp. Can you imagine? What else is it? Tell me what else. Tell me what beautiful virtue going to school with your slave master gave us. You know who was gung-ho about that shit by the time we were born 40 so years ago? A bunch of single black women. The same ones that tell you, the same black women who got a grandfather who didn't finish 6th grade. Do the science. Jesus Christ. He would have been in 6th grade around the time the Banking Emergency Act happened. Why the fuck am I gonna finish fucking school when you just robbed my dad and my grandfather? Asshole. Come on now. And then, now they saying that now. That's why he tried to forgive or re-forgive, because you know the Biden administration said that he tried to clear some more student loans, and now they're saying, well, Harvard, uh, whatever enrollment with Asians are up since African Americans, Hispanics are down because of racism with the law and affirmative action or DEI, whatever fucking words are. That shit ain't been active in a while, but Asians would be minorities, so that cannot be the fucking reason, you dumbass. I could have fucking sworn Donald Trump said he needed 600,000 Chinese people in their education system, and they just forgot all about that. The fuck is wrong with people? They don't even remember what happened this year. And that's what I'm saying. I fear they're retarded. But they're gonna start talking about Asian people in school and how we need to come together and take the education seriously so we can be like China. No, China ain't going to the goddamn Harvard. You stupid motherfuckers. You think the people in China with all the goddamn money need a damn American university? The fuck going on? They middle school more serious than that. Stop playing. Stop fucking playing. Them motherfuckers in they real schools in Asia, they stay in school till 10 o'clock at night, my nigga. What the fuck Harvard gonna teach them? Harvard taught Swiss Beats, and he's in the middle of going to court for fucking evading $7 million borrowed the same way Praz borrowed it from Asians. Shut your ass up. I want Mark Lamont and everybody who went to school with him to shut the fuck up. Not him specifically, but I was using that brother's name as a representation of the class. The junior boule members. Nah, y'all can't keep doing race politics and keep lying about slavery with your French African ass descendant ass. Take your ass back to France or Africa, wherever that was on the map before you got here. Start there, fix that shit, fix your backyard. And you know, they say, well, before you out there, you gotta fix your own backyard. The problem with the United States is so many people are here and none of this is their backyard. So that's why that never works out for us. You gotta fix your own backyard, not the backyard you're squatting on. Your own OWN, your own backyard. No. And it's crazy that people don't care about that. So if they don't care about hereditamous and inheritance and all that stuff, the best way to tell people understand law is if they care about their family. And if they don't care about law, they don't care about their family. If they don't care about their family or their law, they definitely don't know the history. So we end up dealing with all the mystery people who only authority is they look cute in a picture and get to tell you all of their referral to authority licenses and paperwork, and then say something really fucking stupid that a lot of stupider people agree with, and that's it. That type of grandstanding doesn't ever solve anything by having an idiot repeat what everyone was repeated in college. No, bitch, that does not work. How do you fix it? Do you have at least 3 new ideas? Man, you guys, man, it ain't that serious. You just gotta get a job, man. Like, oh my God, now you're going back to the slave requirements. Shut the fuck up. I'm tired of these niggas. And I'm talking about in that class. We should not need no Donald Trump if we got all those fucking niggas in Atlanta with all those banks. Thank you for joining my TED Talk. If it was about black people. It's not. They just bring the black thing up to keep you lost. Joke of the day. Better slaves, better pizza, Papa John's. Come on now. Smyth-EL says, yep, the concept of classmates. Who the fuck are these people and why am I in this class learning what they feel like things should be? That was always my problem. I don't like these ugly motherfuckers. I don't even want to work with them. Cool J says, oh my bad, even funnier. It's the way that he said it. Squad. Smyth-EL says, be yourself, not like anybody else, but also be more Chinese as well. Be more Chinese might be our future. Come on now. Smyth-EL says, the back of their own brain. This motherfucker stole everyone's life. This place could be lit, but they got us into this world of greed. This motherfucker have it coming. No. They did this shit a long time ago. We could have never fixed the thing that stole everything. That's why history failed us. The United States is the hypothecation of America. The United States is the problem with America. And notice that the United States is not a person. It's a bunch of people in America keeping it up with the idealism. The only thing that connects them together is the money. And the money itself is foreign. Loop, loop, loop. So we're arguing about social and identity politics, hereditamism and things with people who don't know what those words mean, but the emotionalism of, well, I did the thing and I went to school and I worked and it's mine. And the whole while they don't own anything. They possess things. They don't own anything. How much of the law is about ownership? So they're not even doing law. You understand everything. They don't think through that lens ever. That's the point of it. It was to reset a whole civilization, not to make money off of them. Y'all don't make money, so it's not financial benefit, is it? So then you have to ask your question, why would they create a monopoly game? Then you go, well, what's the outcome of this monopoly game? Everyone forgetting their history. Fucking reset, nigga. Welcome. Yep. They reset it. Whoever's behind the bank. Way up at the top of the pyramid. Not the people we vote for. They probably figure it out and get wins of it and join little secret societies and kind of like on the yuppie level of it, but Nah, everybody forgot where they came from already, boy. I literally got grandfathered in, man. Again, shout out to Jonathan one more time. That was like the last window of opportunity that I would even have access to a system that I could have even verified who my whole fucking Holy Roman Empire of friends was. Shout out to all the white Jewish people trying to pretend to be us who did all the hard work for me. Yeah, it'd be like that. I would use what they intended against you to help you. God don't miss. I'm telling you, God did not miss. When you go to Ancestry.com, you start seeing them put variables and parentheses next to the names of people related to your family. They clocking. Because all of my family members were in the wars. It's over their land. The Roberts, all that. The Hills, all of that. They're soldiers, pirates, or, Navy, naval. They don't teach that story correctly. They don't teach enough about the history of Pennsylvania, actually, where it all happened. So I don't know, man. I don't know what, and then I'm like most people, like, God, how am I gonna pay my rent tomorrow with this information? I don't know. I think it's a little bit deeper than at least I know. Nah, there ain't no reason for me to know that. But I knew that before it manifested this way, so I don't know. It's not just to take it to the grave. I think maybe more so for me personally. It's like, not to get caught up in the winds and turbulence of what they're doing. Now that I know that they're doing it. It helped me be very clear about where I fit into the Ponzi scheme. So I don't go around wasting prayers to fix it in that sense. I pray that the Ponzi scheme in place just takes care of the people because that's humanity. But I am not hoping that the federal government figures out a way to get a AAA credit rating and revigorize the economy with bots and AI and put white people and Jewish people until they stop breeding, and then Indians. Like, cut it up. Nope. I don't want no part of their sci-fi reality. Cliff High can go to hell with that shit. You better enjoy an RV and Heidi text messages after 9 o'clock. That's fair. I want to do it to wherever his mother come from. If we knew where the fuck that was. Yeah. A lot of people be casting spells on shit that ain't theirs. That's what it taught me.
Not that I can do something about it, so that I can recognize that pattern. The problem isn't what I'm going to do with my shit. My problem is where's theirs? Their shit is not my shit. So where's their shit before they stole my shit? That's what it taught me. And the problem is they don't have an answer, meaning there's nothing to restore for them. Okay? And then the last part of that, because I know how to do algebra real fast. All that means in my brain is that they're just going to die. When this system dies, they die too. I hope y'all know that. They have nowhere to go. We're not talking about murder. Famine more than anything, but neglect. When the land becomes neglected, the people neglect each other, and then that cuts back on reproduction. The problem is, I need you to hear me very fucking clearly. If they're not near their nativity, you cannot replenish that bloodline or that paradigm or that mindset of people. Once they time run out, once they money run out, once they health run out, they out of here forever and ever. Amen. Like, you understand what I'm saying? That's why I was like, you got to find out where your grandmother's from. Because if you're trying to preserve your legacy in treaties and laws and banks that are attached to that originally, then you need to find that and get close. Because you'll be the only one alive today who can claim that. No one else would know to claim it. Thus, it's kind of like, tag, you're it. Like, you understand everything, and it's hard to understand everything. But that's why it says honor your mother and father if. So they don't have that. And we know that already. But they act like they did. They act like they own a whole bunch of things based on United States federal treasury notes. The problem is the treasury owns everything. And they owe everything to the credit card they owe to the Federal Reserve. Nobody down here on none of this, because nobody down here is part of the Empire of Indians. Furthermore, so your stake in colonization of my grandmother is quite sick. Yeah. Thank God my grandmother's sick of them. So that's what I'm saying. Like, this shit is coming down not for us. It's coming down because of them, on them. It's going to drop that bearing load of not being able to tell nobody the truth, whether it's their competence, the history, or the fact that they embezzled and fucked up and inflated their own shit playing games with niggas. They'll never tell you that. So they're going to humble out. And when Trump dies, that's it for him and his family. Barron Trump ain't going, no. He go to Ukraine and trade Dogecoins. Yeah, he might be able to feed himself, but he ain't getting no land and no power back. And everybody else, Pelosi and her kids. She got kids? Everybody. Is that a her or a boy? We never know still. But like, when you go across, you'd be like, that's the last generation close to the beginning of the Federal Reserve. That's the most important thing about this lesson here. Every dumbass person who co-signed the Federal Reserve and their kids are the people who are dying next. Meaning no one alive, because they didn't pass the information down properly, is going to know why the fuck it exists. They're like, we don't really need that. And unfortunately, it's already happening. Which is why I keep talking about it. The more I talk about it, the more they talk about it. Quantum entanglement. Everyone's starting to figure out that the Federal Reserve is the bad guy. Duh. Look at your money, stupid. It's theirs. You own something that you bought for by a foreign bank. Make it make sense. And that only makes sense to foreigners, which is why white people never questioned it. We're brainwashed by school, not slavery. School taught us to lean on the white guy. There's all their racist, metric, pie graph, data, psychology showing us that black people ain't shit. I remember reading this shit in the textbooks. And I be in that classroom, I'm like, the devil is a lie. I'm smarter than all you niggas. Them little white girls just hate that. My test scores. So yeah, I don't understand anything. So yeah. The Jewish people in those books tried it. I remember clearly. So I don't know, man. That's why I ain't got a problem with white people, because it's the propaganda about them that charges them up to do the things they do. And then when that's no longer funded or true, my question goes back to them. So where are you going? Don't tell me you were in the Moorish army fighting against Moorish Indians. Where are you going? Liberty Island, Cabbage Patch, World Fair, all in my cities. Where are you going?
problem is there's no answer. Not that they have to go anywhere. Where are you going? Because if you stay here, you're going to the grave. There's no more of you coming. So where are you going? That's the problem with them, Shogun. They don't understand our language. We do a you know what I'm saying thing. They take it to the way that they mean things using our language. No. When I talk, the end is different. If you don't know where you come from, where you're going, you're not going to be able to replenish yourself. I'm more concerned about their mama, bro, than they are. We know when they die forever. We've been dying for 2,000 years. And I am King James' 14th grandson. And I'm still here. And all my brothers and all my cousins. But to everybody else playing this game suddenly, making America great, I guess, when y'all finally die off, and I'm talking about naturally, I'm just talking about just the way this game goes. We see the numbers, we see the population, we've seen the mRNA, we've seen the diseases, we see the turbo cancers, we're seeing everything that can help you if you catch one of those be defunded. So they're not trying to help you survive it. But then it was their policies that gave it to you. So they fucked up somewhere down the embezzlement pipeline and made people sick, took extra money off of that, and now they're long-term sick. And they're not about to take care of them. They can't afford to. It's that they can't do it because they're $38 fucking trillion short. So when enough of them start dying, my question is, again, where's your grandma stay? Because if you stay here, you're going to die. You ain't got no one to mix with to stay here. And don't forget, we never cleaned up slavery or racism. That's how smart they were in my school, I guess. They can talk their shit. Where the kingdom is, what happened, why I ain't got whatever I got. Don't worry about it. I got life. And what's inside of me is more valuable than everything you're borrowing. The key to survival. Yep. I can make a phone call to heaven. They be picking up and answering. So the only thing I'm worried about, man, is that they won't understand that. Fuck the legalese, fuck the paperwork of a temporary system they'll all burn down and give you a new one if. Now, you're supposed to figure out where your grandma stay, bro. If you don't know where your grandma stay, man, you don't know who you are. It's going to make you question your grandma. Like, what is she? Where's she from originally? Keep going. Find her grandma. Since y'all weren't slaves, y'all should have birth and marriage records all the way back to the 1400s. I do. I want you to see if your grandmother goes all the way back to my father's Holy Roman Empire. And if she does, if she's speaking English for a long time, maybe she was, then you have to ask yourself, how did you end up in front of King James' grandson again? Dying. If it was your grandmother that betrayed us, according to your story, since everything turned white. It don't turn white by itself. I'm not white yet. That's what I be talking about. You should find out if your grandmother believed in karma. Because this whole United States is against King James. There is no other fucking emperor. exactly. Which is why they hypothecated his name and made it Jesus. Right, right. And they tell you in the Bible, well, Jesus and James were twins. Right, right. Where they get this shit from? They must have heard it somewhere by a researcher. Yeah, that shit don't work with me. If he had a twin, a brother, a half a brother, Joseph's son with his mother, all them niggas my uncles. They would look like me. Either one of them. So that's what I'm saying. Like, however they do that story, they talking about my family. The good, the bad, and the ugly ones. So what do your grandmother say? So they can't say they stole this land and the white man and they colonized. No. Because you keep lying and saying that was us while denying it was us. But you're assuming that people who look like them and you and they did it all somehow and outsmarted or outtricked us or did something better. I'm in 2025 living through this lie. Show me. Do it again. It should be easier since you don't have no tyranny but you. Right? Donald Trump's. Right? Nancy Pelosi's. Right? Everybody in the Pentagon. Right? Everybody in the CIA. Right? Everybody in the FBI. Right? Everybody fucking alive, panicking at the top of the pyramid. They should find out where the fuck their grandmothers stay to where they could take an oath against my people to be here. Because if they betrayed us over there and lost over there, they ass ended up here and they're betraying us now. Where are they going next? This is a pattern. That wasn't their kingdom and this ain't their kingdom either. It's an empire. What I'm saying is there's no room or time for them to have had a kingdom or empire of their own if they're the ones that are doing the government. That's a subsidiary of a kingdom. Meaning they don't even put themselves in the highest positions. Even their fake puppet prince over there is stepping down because he's a senile pedophile. Spare me the gory details. How many sons did he have? 2? Tough. Bitch ass nigga. Sound like he likes fucking boys too much. A prince ain't gotta do nothing but fuck and all he can spit out is 2 kids? Weird. And none of them want to be in power. Weird. What power would that be? If you're wearing all my ancestors' fucking jewelry, you faggots. I could have sworn it was us who know how to make crowns out of gold while they were in a fucking Bronze Age. They gotta make up their mind, boy. The movies and video games was carrying them, but in real fucking life. Went from us to whatever the fucking African is, to white people with governments, and that's all within 250 years. So I have all the treaties for the checkpoints. So I know there's no room for, if they had that much room, they wouldn't be fucking broke borrowing from fucking Jewish bankers. Woo! Easy. This shit become common sense when you know what you're reading. So yeah, they all I can say is they should go back to where their grandma's there. I just want to know where that is. It ain't here. Out of their own lips. Why the grandma? Nativity. She would own land. Where your grandma say. Not that your father couldn't. No, but you know your mother did. Nativity. The fathers would give it to their daughters, and so on, and so on, and so on. So, once the father dies, you understand? So, where your grandma say? Where's your nativity? Where's your nationality? Notice that when I talk about black people and their nationalities and Moors and Indians, white people don't have one either. The only people who don't have nationalities are slaves. So black slaves and white slaves. Welcome to Black Law Dictionary, and welcome to the black codes of Christians and Southerners. Oh my God. The status white and the status black in a hypothecated system, both are slaves. White is not a nationality. Neither is the United States. Neither is the USA. And you can't say you're American. That's a continent. You're fucking up something. American is not a nationality. American is the whole fucking continent. So if you're American and you're white, then you're American Mexican, you're American Canadian, you're Mexican Brazil, you're American Brazil, you're American Argentina. You're not. What nationality are you? Which nation of these places do you come from? You in DC? Curious. You're a United States citizen, but DC is not part of the United States. Let's do it. I wish they make up their mind, sugar. Are you DCian? Are you District of Columbian? Or are you a United States citizen? Because Washington, D.C. District of Columbia is not part of the United States. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. So what nation are you? They'll tell you that Donald Trump is German. There's a nation called Germany, currently. And within the current of him having a flag being from there, he wouldn't be. He would be modern day German. Were those people always in Germany? Couldn't have been, because that place wasn't always called Germany. Thank you for coming to my Alamance TED Talk. Alamance County is where Charlotte is. You know, King Charles, Carlo, Otto, my grandfather, and Charlotte being the female version of Alamance colony of Germans, Tuscarora, Nuremberg, everything on the East Coast. Yeah, welcome to the Holy Roman Empire. It was here. Holy means angels. We were here. New England. Yeah, that's us. The Holy Roman Empire is right where I'm at. It's an empire, not a kingdom. So even if we had things over there, most of our things was here too. Where we started on this map, yes. Now we understand everything. Back then, this was called that, before they brought their ass here and took it and called it something else. Now you understand it. That's why you gotta check the dates when you do history. These motherfuckers be moving shit around, have you noticed? King James would be the king of the Holy Roman Empire, if you're confused. Jamestown, Virgin Mary land. This is the Holy Roman Empire. That's why I said, oh, the Romans were here, all these Roman Colosseums and all these Victorian era buildings. Yeah, that was us. We're the Romans from 400 years ago. The Holy Romans. That's different. We're not talking about Romans in Greece and BC. The fuck, before Christ? All right, that wasn't too long ago, I guess, but it would still be the same people after him too. So like, don't fucking play with us. It's a Holy Roman Empire. I hope y'all don't miss this. Holy, angelic, divine, Roman, Amora, angels read backwards, Moors, empire, not kingdom. Meaning the Holy Roman Empire is over the entirety of kingdoms, especially if they speak in English, since it's a holy empire of angels. English. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Now you're gonna start to stack this shit up. That's why they need nationality, because they can't claim that shit if they're not part of that nationality. They don't have time to. They don't have time not to look like us. They don't have time not to look like us if they're in that empire at any time in their fucking human history, because it's right fucking here. Philadelphus, Delphi, Greek, North America. The whole fucking East Coast, bro. That was my parents, not theirs. Who did we colonize and terrorize? Being Indians ourselves. Other Indians? Okay. You weren't there for it, so how do you know? What Indian told you that? None of them, right? We got your book from the 1600s. So you got between the 1600s and 1933. Who told you about that story about us? We over here, nigga. Phoenicians, Phoenix people, Cherokee, Chilique, Chaldeans. We're over here the whole time. Yeah. Holy Roman Empire. So King James is the Holy Roman Emperor, most recent, 1611. Ain't a whole bunch of time for them to be part of us. Because till this day, they're not part of us. 400 years. So they don't have 400 years prior to 1611, and they definitely ain't got 2,000 to say they're us in any capacity of this story. They're not tall enough per capita. They're not brown enough. Their cheekbones ain't high enough. Their heads ain't shaped like us. No, you're not related to us. You could have been somewhere there because you're somewhere there now. This is still the Holy Roman Empire. Since angels are Moors. Thank you. Ask the Jehovah's Witnesses. They arguing on threads today. If Michael is Jesus, then why does Hebrews 1:5 say? Because you don't know how to fucking read and you ain't minding your fucking business. All the answers are you don't fucking know how to read because you're not minding your business. God is not going to reveal that to you. It'll be vanity. They don't believe in niggas. They wonder why they're not getting these degrees and shit. Because you don't believe in us. So why the fuck would God give you our dossier? Niggas, who you call niggas, is who God uses as angel vessels. You're in the Holy Roman Empire of angels. King James, my grandfather, is their king of kings. He was never the fucking kings of humans. That's how I know they're fucking lying about everything. Or his language wouldn't have been English as a German. Okay. I am Heinz 57. That's what my grandfather told me. You know Heinz is German? Heinz, like the ketchup, is German. My grandfather, his answer to what we are is German. He's telling me that we're German. We said it's a different word for us. Yeah, we're Germans. The ones that speak English, we're Germans. That's why we speak English. I don't sound like a fucking white boy. So does. But we're talking about Holy Roman Empire level. We're talking about nobles and royals. And whoever we were fucking, we weren't fucking everybody. Okay. All right. So you understand that. And nobody, no matter who we fucking on this landmass, Pocahontas or now Rebecca, Gabrielle, they'll all be black or light-skinned. Swarthy or tawny. Only two options here as of 1751. So from 1611 to 1751, an angel writing about mankind. They call him Benjamin Franklin, but you know it's Frankfurt, Germany. So if he's a German, he's black. Got it, Banneker? Banks? Black, German, Jewish bankers. My family. These motherfuckers running their shit. It's not my family. They hypothecated my family shit here and assumed it after all the wars and the reset and the earthquakes and weird atlases flying by and dropping shit off. We got the damn pictures, Nuremberg, over here, East Coast, DC. All that happened here. Civil War photos, Richmond, Virginia, 1800s would prove it if you looked at them. All that happened here. Everything else they put in your textbook, Civil War, is fake painted backgrounds. They bitch asses wasn't here. You ever seen no one as tall and as handsome as me in any of those photos of their goddamn books about us? Tell them to cut it the fuck out. Indians don't like taking pictures, remember? Alrighty. Alrighty then. Alrighty. Thank you for joining our TED Talk. So yeah, Heinz 57, the 12 holy Roman tribes of angels. 13 colonies. Jerusalem, Salam, and Israel. One of them are going to be Mohammedan. The others, get it? But they're together, they're united. Like, that'd be fucking people up. Jerusalem is not Israel. There's 12 tribes of Israel, and then there's Jerusalem. From within Israel, Judah's tribe gets the bloodline right to Jerusalem, because Jerusalem, South America, is where the giants come from. So what it's telling you is, out of one of those tribes, they have giant blood. That does not mean that the other tribes have to, since these are tribes of mankind. But Jerusalem is empire level. Those are the royal, holy divines. They cannot be human history. In their own fucking word, in high Proto-Indo-European German English, over here in King James America, the German English king of the fucking world as of 1611. And his son, Sire Knight John Smith, is my grandfather, right? Like literally, I'm Dwayne Desan Essa Smith. Jerusalem, hence, Issa, Beth, my grandmother. Like, come on now. Well, that's what I be telling people. They didn't just lie about what they taught you in school. They have to. But that ain't what the lie is. The lie is everything. They better fucking find out what their grandma say. That's all I'm saying. My granddad said we Heinz 57. Shit. 12 plus Heinz. We're the Holy Roman Empire. The real one. Afro-Asiatics. Semites. The tribe that mixed with angels. You know, those tall black aliens. And we look like tall black Asians. Do the fucking science. I'm a tall black Asian, connotatively. They didn't have to Yao Ming us. Otto the First is a giant. I'm Otto the 21st. Tall black people coming off of spaceships. Must be royals. They must be Jews. Since Jews, Jerusalem, Judeans are the ones mixed with angels. Yep. They could never be little white people, short stroking with long noses. Never. Like, never has that been written, never has that been drawn. That's why Putin be laughing. I guess he knows genetics. The fuck? You gotta listen to these niggas about what they talking about. Nigga, you don't have the genetics. That's the trump card. No book, no author, no money, no amount of anything. Bitch, you do not have those genetics. You are not that. The end. Get the fuck out of my face. It doesn't matter what your story is. It don't matter what story you think you know. That's why they never know this story. They just say, oh, it's us, and if you say you're anti-Semitic, they can't even afford to tell people they're anti-Semitic no more. That word comes from what year? The 1880s. Why do we have it in America? Who the fucking asked them to talk about any of that shit in my grandmother's country? What treaty do these faggots got with us? Oh, they only have the white man, their middleman. All right, I can know the man, not the man that know the man, though, so don't play with us. Since nobody here did it, and it's they fucking stupid-ass grandkids. You notice whose grandkids didn't turn stupid? All praises be to the Most High God, but more importantly, to who the fuck my grandmother is. Queen Elizabeth of the Holy Roman Empire. New Virgin Maryland colonies. United States of America. It just kept going west. We didn't get a chance to get all the fucking done yet. Y'all kind of interrupted us. Thanks. Yeah. My grandmother from here, my other grandma from here, and then my other grandmother who came here, then she stayed here, and then they had like cousins and sisters, and they were from here. And then my other grandma, Mama Inga, nigga, Angel, she from here. That's why there's a Y in my last name. Like, if you just stack it up real quick, they spell Mama Inga with a Y, they spell Smith with a Y too. Stay woke out here. That's what I'm saying. I'm from them. I'm from the Giants. I'm not from these little niggas. I'm not from little pale people, so. And there's little pale people in the family tree. Don't miss it. But because I'm a tall nigga copper Indian, that means the dominant gene couldn't have been any of the other admixtures. So they're irrelevant. Which is why Benjamin Franklin said what he said. We can no more anglicize them than they could Germanize us. He didn't call them Germans. Germans are mixed, like the 12 tribes of Israel are mixed. Oh my God, wake up, World War II people. World War II is over here, stupid. This is the Holy Roman Empire. They're speaking English, a derivative of Germany. My grandfather. Then I'm German. The real ones. Right here in fucking North Carolina. Right? Tuscarora, under Nuremberg, right? The whole fucking time. From Queen Elizabeth of the Holy Roman Empire on down, we've been here the whole fucking time. That's not to say that we don't have territories everywhere else. It's an empire. But what I'm saying is we, the people, your grandmother, the nativity, what that looked like back then, hi, we ain't go nowhere, bitch. That's what happened to the Holy Roman Empire. A bunch of mankind type motherfuckers hypothecated it. Cool story, I guess. I mean, what the fuck? They don't live that long either way. Why would that be scary to us? They're gonna die either way. Our story a little bit different, ain't it? We die and come back again. That ain't for everybody. They try to cut in on the hybridization of angels, and they can't. They can't do nothing with our blood but make technology. Our blood comes from a technologically advanced civilization. Why do they think they can hijack it? That sounds stupid on Solomon. They're not smarter than Solomon, so you know they ain't fucking with nobody out of space. Since he was a giant compared to me. I got his picture too, pointing straight to Tuscarora, with his wife Sheba standing right next to him. We have everything. And I haven't seen their grandmothers yet. So I don't understand like how they don't resonate with like, damn, I really need to find out what the fuck it is. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, we the only people that do that. And that's our history. That's our thing. That's in our blood, quite literally. Me wanting to study the stars and the maps and all that shit on Benjamin Banks. Like, yeah, my mother is Banks. Of course we would. That's that family. There's no one else here with us. That last name is our family name. So go all the way back to the top, Benkel. Germans, again. She got it from her black dad. Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. The Holy Roman Empire of Jews, Jerusalem. Duh. What the fuck else would they be? The bankers are Jews. Duh. The bank belongs to the Holy Roman Empire. Those are the Jews. The fuck are they talking about? They started describing Romans and shit. No. We have Alexander the Great, a fucking light-skinned nigga, staring at his grandfather, Aristotle, doing the thinking man pose. And even they made that a white statue when it's Aristotle, a black guy. A bald black guy with a big white beard. Looking at his grandson. Ask Mr. Now. Don't stop fucking playing with us, bro. With they cosplaying immigration bullshit. I'm a direct descendant of the Holy Roman Emperor. I'm a direct descendant of Judah. I'm a direct descendant of Jesus. I'm a direct descendant of Genghis Khan. I'm a direct descendant of John Smith. I'm a direct descendant of Carlos V. The reason why I'm saying that, y'all, is because that's the same fucking family. They're royals. They're related. It don't fucking matter which story you tell about any of them, whether they're competent, incompetent, good or bad people in their kingdoms. They're all the same fucking people. And it cannot be nobody else's. There's a lot of everybody else's who might be a piece of it. But one more fucking time again. You're a piece of us, not the other fucking way around this shit. On Jesus. Hence Herodotus was his uncle, dumb motherfuckers. He was around Jerusalem talking to Judeans, dumb motherfuckers. He ain't talking to nobody else. There ain't nobody fucking here with us but us. Politics as usual. You know, the Judeans always forget where the fuck they come from and start worshiping foreign gods. Yeah, they don't change their fucking colors, nigga. It's us. That whole book is us versus us. It's us mixing with us. It's us doing the right thing and us doing the bad thing. And giants and angels. So if you're anything else, you should be related to us. Then why do they treat us like this? If they are our sons, no ill mind. Because they're not. Tell them cut it the fuck out. How the fuck can Trump, a German, be my fucking president? Exactly. Why they will go bankrupt even faster every time I speak. Yeah. I'm the Holy Roman Emperor, dude. Not the Pope. The Pope is the one who stole the power from us. That's what I told you. Pope Boniface versus Hakata Khan, my father. Look it up. Ask Noel. We gotta stop fucking playing with these niggas. I'm the Holy Roman Emperor, bro. King James, the Holy Roman Emperor, is my grandfather. Succession. I'm the Holy Roman Emperor. None of them niggas is holy, angelic. They're not tall enough. They're not wise enough. They don't know anything I talk about. None of them Roman enough. Angels read backwards. None of them are Moors. And none of them are part of an empire. They have presidents and CEOs. So that's what I'm saying. Where they grandma say? Where they going when this is over? They ain't got to worry about me. They got to worry about what God said. I ain't listening to no nigga who family ain't got their own Bible. About the Bible. Cut it out. That's uncivilized. They couldn't fucking fathom the right answer, let alone have it. Yeah, time is up. I'm talking about time is up. Like, y'all understand how time up is up. There's a Rubik's Cube. Every face is a different name of the same cube, nigga. On Saturn, on Abraham's cube, over there in the Kaaba. That's mine too, Saudi Arabian. You crypto fucking Jew, you. Stop fucking playing with me. I got cases on all these niggas. Because none of them look like me. It's so easy to see. They're not Afro-Asiatic enough for me. Semites. And only Semites are emperors. Thank you for joining my TED Talk. That's how you figure them out. Well, if all the emperors are Shem, and Shem is a giant, then all the emperors should be related to giants. Yep, that's how that works. None of them giants are white people. Not to say there weren't pale giants. Those are still not white people. Slavics and Caucasians. Nope, not at all. And that sounds like even in their bloodline of humanity, they came lately. Nope, not at all. Meanwhile, on spaceships, yeah, we over here, bro. We good. I ain't sweating it. There's too many spaceships here for me to be sweating it. I'm a Holy Roman Empire descendant at a timeline where we have spaceships in the air again. Oh my God. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. My help come from over the hills. Well, where I'm at, mountains. And they be coming over them. You should check my YouTube shorts one day. On Elisha, nigga. Isa. That's like Jesus all over again. Jesus Christ. How many times our Father going to show up in a book about him? There's 12 tribes, bro. That means there's 12 different dialects and understandings. That's why I always go to the empire level of things. You know, treaties, laws with imperial majestics. Everybody else gonna be playing telephone. There ain't nothing wrong with that. But if you want the truth of the fucking matter, who the fuck did they steal this country from besides niggas? Thank you. There's no other answer. On Mama Inga, there is no other answer. These motherfuckers are running the United States and using us with their borrowed credit in a land full of niggas. against niggas, that never helps niggas, that's racist against niggas, that's propaganda against niggas, that mistreats niggas, that teaches foreigners who have never met niggas in human history. Now imagine this shit. Motherfucking immigrants that came here, fucking mafia people, that they came over here not liking black people, right? How the fuck you not gonna like us, bitch? Move into our fucking neighborhood. And the story is, you've never seen us before. So where did your hate come from? Oh, you're a piece of shit normally. So these are the people alive now, ain't it? The boomers would be their first generation of kids. That's why it's booming. It's a bunch of fucking immigrants. Fuck them. The fuck? Donald Trump ain't no fucking German. You seen his dad's face? They just got German names because they love stealing shit that ain't theirs. Where are we today? Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. It might make fucking sense if you understand who the fuck these people are by asking them, where your grandma stay? And where's your German king descendants? Don't tell me it's Trump. And don't tell me it's LeBron French James. I guess he's tall enough, but he also has a Habsburg jaw. Different thing. Thus, he would have never been emperor. So yeah. I know. It's one of those things. I know. Trust me. I know. On Dwayne Smith, trust me, I know. I know that much. I know who the fuck ain't my family. Yeah, we're royals and nobles. Then how come none of you want to meet the fucking emperor? Cap. There's a stranger in my house. It took a while to figure out. There's no way they can be who they say they are. They gotta be someone else, cause they wouldn't hurt me like that. And they want to treat us the way that they do. There's a bunch of strangers in Mama Inga's house. It took a while for us to figure out. There's no way in Hades they can be who they say they are. Thus, they gotta be somebody else. Where your grandma stay? Who is she? And why is all your names in our language? Literally. Why the fuck would your grandmother name any of your fucking children after a bunch of niggas? On David to Elizabeth. They had their own culture and everything. They came over here recently, not knowing who we are. But they got the language from people who look just like who we are. And their names are in English, allegedly. Dolls roll ass niggas. And they pick the names that are Judeans. But they don't know no Judeans. And they ain't no Jewish. And they ain't got no money. You're the royals of banks with no money when you form our country. Shut the fuck up talking to me. Even in damn movies, they gotta steal the fucking gold from dragons. Serpent. Serpentarius, Sagittarius. Hi, how you doing? Same story. They keep telling my fucking story. Law of correspondence is genetics, of course. I'm patterned after my creators. The fuck is going on down here, boy? They crazy as hell, that's all. Psychosis. The program is breaking, that's all. I'm trying to help everybody find their landing point, that's all. Mentally, emotionally. You got money is a side effect. That is, trust me, that is not our real problem. Money don't have problems. Money got money. Too bad they ain't got money, they got credit. There we go again. The fuck? I said my whole family was in the Roman Empire because they're all kings. That's what I was talking about. I wasn't talking about people who live in Germany. I was talking about the kings of it, meaning it was their fucking language. More than anything, it's just the fact that it's theirs. Ownership. So if you're picking the names of people who are owners, then you must be slaves to somebody else. Because you would have honored your mother and kept her fucking name like we did. Smith. Mm-hmm. How the fuck they end up with our last names? And still not be our color? Mm-hmm. They even stole our damn names, bro. We translated German to English. It's the King James Bible. A German with an English Bible. The fuck is wrong with people? In King James English. A German. And English comes from Germans. Like, what the fuck are we confused about? Oh, the map that says over there is a land called Germany. Yeah, nigga. We're not from the land of Germany. We're the Germans. Wherever the fuck we go is Germany. Nuremberg, Washington, D.C., where all the black people are. As of the 1800s. I got the pictures. Ain't nothing but black people in that city. That's why Baltimore sound like they used to be Germans. Uh-huh. Wake your ass up. Once we wake it up, man, you can't go back to sleep, man. That like they got that many competent white people out of a famine who could teach all these niggas up and down the East Coast the same way to speak English. Shut the fuck up. They haven't done it since they started schools. Come on, guys. Bear with me. They literally have been teaching us in school these days, and we still don't adopt the way they say things. Modernly. So how the fuck they do that between 1775 and 1812? Shut the hell up. They say, yeah, we had a whole bunch of black people here with a clean slate. No language, no words, no borrowed customs from anything else. And we gave them a whole new way to talk. But because they were poor. No, nigga. If they were poor, they didn't have companies or Walmarts to work at. So what does poor mean in that context? Did they have land or nah? Well, if they were on land and they had it and they were farming it, they're richer than anyone else talking about they come in here for opportunity. Shut the fuck up, man. See how connotative linguistics fucked the whole game up, boy? Dumb as hell, stupid as hell, goofy as hell. Came to the poorest people and started borrowing their language and their names. Cut it out. Cut it. We got poor because your ass showed up. That's the only trend report I can follow. Like, we were good until you showed up, not looking like us, whoever the fuck you are in government. You know what I'm talking about? Like, cut it the fuck out. What's the mystery here? The colonial force, nigga. Like, the fuck? I'm so proud of being a colonial force citizen, and they're not taking care of us. People who are not the colonials, who took a 360 deal on Dred Scott and unratified amendments, civil rights with Black Panthers and Jewish immigrants. Yeah, that's going to help us get our freedom to go back to Africa, in which we never did. Shut your ass up. We need education. We need education, boy. Nah, they weren't talking about education. They were talking about you need minimum requirements for work to go to a corporatization of your fucking colonialization ass niggas. Nah, I'm talking about the real shit, boy. If we just knew how to read what the fucking words mean. Like English. The ish is very important, nigga. It's not because they're from England. This is New England. Is it not? Is Boston, Massachusetts not New England? All right. So where do you think the Kingdom of England was? The squash. And the old one? Why would they have a new one? Y'all dumb. If he was the king of old England, why is he calling it New England? It sound like he moving, nigga. The fuck is wrong with people? On the daguerreotype of George Washington of Connecticut. A black guy. I have it. All the daguerreotypes are the originals. They're black. They're Moors. They would be related to me. Unless they came over on bullshit later, that they ain't mixing with the Inca me. So they're just half, which is fine. Still not theirs either, since they're under Imperial Majestic, my father. So they can be whoever the fuck they want to be in this story. Still not my father. You're not my dad. Exactly. Fuck them. Because they definitely ain't honoring him, which should be like, their uncle or their grandfather. Word. Third cousins involved. Yep, you niggas. The New Orleans niggas, especially them. Jesus Christ. I'm not related to y'all niggas. Y'all related to me. You got distance between the root of the tree, not me. I'm direct down, baby. That means you mix in with somebody else if you that far away from me, and we in the same territory. That means you were working with others, traitors. Yep. Slavers. Moors. It's a pedigree of people, not a kingdom or a religion. AKA what I'm saying if you're confused. If there's ever slaves in America, the slave owners had to be black people. They're the only ones that own land. And slaves mean Slavic, white girls. Why do you think there's so many light-skinned people down there? And the slave owner of a plantation is the father, husband, do the etymology of these words, family. Family, husband, wife, all of that are side effects of slavery. So the reason why they're rebelling against their tyrannical slave master is their husband or their father. They're divorcing. Yeah, you don't have nobody on a plantation. They ain't related to the slave master. Remember the whole thing? Thomas Jefferson had a lot of kids. Shut the fuck up. No. If they're saying Thomas Jefferson was married, and this nigga's a eunuch, so he didn't have no fucking kids, but imagine if he got married to a woman and had kids right there, yeah, those would be the ones who inherit the land. But all the other women on his plantation, all those other workers are also his kids. Bastards, not random employees. Goofy as hell, stupid as hell. Hence, Django Unchained, Steven. Half of those little girls are his daughters. He's doing business with a white man. He's a traitor. Candyland is Steven's idea. He's the pimp of the plantation. Yeah, he fucking them. Meaning if they're younger than him, they're his fucking kids. Generational shit. Can you imagine? They be alluding to it. And they had the German going around helping out Jamie, the blue Etruscan. The Etruscan will tie you into the Indian side of it. But the German ought to have been a black guy too. Holy Roman Empire shit. So yeah, man. They almost had it. They almost told you everything. Too bad it was directed by pedophiles. They always gonna miss something, including consent. It's easy, man. We out here. Shout out to you. Shout out to the people. Shout out to the tribe. Shout out to extended friends and family, man. They said we never get it back, man. Anglicizing their names. That's all they could fucking do is steal the names, because they definitely can't steal the blood. I like some of the Kubrick movies. What the fuck do they know about English? The Prussian Russian model. You got it. Harry Potter, Hera times Jupiter. TBFB13 says 3. I'm convinced they're hypothecating hippos. 1 million. Word to Tamia. Boom, boom, boom. I want you out my room something. Want a Sprite cranberry? The answer is clear. They say angels brought the language, but when it's time to talk, they sticks and stone and unserious. Yeah. Language comes from angels, but not the angelish language. King James, what would he be? Like, they're so goofy. He's a king of kings. What would he be? Is Jesus a king of kings? What is he? All right, then. How many king of kings can you have if there's just one king of kings? Let's find the answer. And they said the King James Bible introduced the New Testament with the gospel that's about Genghis. Yeah, that's how that works. That's how that works. There wasn't a Bible prior anyway, so why the fuck are you worried about it? It's not a religion. The Bible's not a religion. And the people who have religions don't fucking read the Bible. So they're using it for their passport, I guess. I don't fucking know what's going on with those other people. I don't know. They influence all our people lately. I mean, it's been years. So I understand how we forgot everything. Obviously, we're outnumbered. Consensus, democracy, mob rule. Hmm? We're taken over by the mob. No NBA. Same story. In my projects. Hmm. We're in the projects, boy. In our own land. Where they're projecting on us. Narcissism. System wide narcissism. I wonder how long that lasts. Narcissism represents a snake eating its own tail. Hmm. You find a Tartarian picture of an owl with a snake eating its tail surrounding it. Hmm. I know. Vicious. They're targeting us specifically and nobody else. That's why this shit's so goofy to me when it comes to everybody else. Hmm? Thank God we have so many brothers and cousins all around this goddamn planet. Just the fucking case. We start over again here, there, and everywhere else. Hmm? From Fiji to Asia to Northern Africa to Europe, South Carolina, Oklahoma, definitely California. Don't let me go back to South America. We'll show up again and again and again and again. They cannot say the same. Which is proof. If our blood is everywhere, we were here the longest. That's not true for Nigerians. That's not even true for China. We're older than China. But that makes sense to us. That's not a competition. It's our planet. But yeah, it proves itself. My family all over this planet. What are we colonizing and trying to discover and find out for the first time? Just the new local cultures. But when you go back to their spirituality, it's going to sound just the fucking same, ain't it? Some supernatural being from another place came down and put us here. Amen. I haven't heard anything different. I've been paying attention. Hmm? That's our story. Sun worship. Hmm? I guess. What did you worship? Nah. Better question. Where were you to worship anything? We should find that out first before we start talking about everyone's religions and gods and things. Because how the fuck you here in the 2000s you ain't got one? All right. I'm telling you the truth will tell itself if you let it. They ain't got nothing. If this ain't their language, their history wouldn't be in it. That's called common sense. Board of Education is new. Everybody want educated. Each other. Were they bartering? What was going on with these niggas? Where are they building? Where are their buildings to this day? Because I noticed they keep digging up ours. They don't have a museum for their own family history? Since museums are stealing things, what the fuck is their shit at? Don't exist. Their first technology don't exist. Their first number system don't exist. Their first languages don't exist. They're using our maps, our identifiers, and more importantly, they assign themselves as CEOs and presidents of our corporations. They even make new ones, like dog. Dog, high IQ means what? If you don't have at least 3 kids to give a fuck. Most of the SNAP benefits are single mothers. Most of the people in this country on SNAP are white people. So they're going to focus on us as they tend to do, but most of the people who are about to be fucked over November 1st are white women. Numbers. Oh yeah, there's a lot of black women on it per capita, but numbers wise, that's a little bit of people. 49% are single mothers. Most of the single mothers on SNAP are white women. That's the only reason why it pushes all across social media. Ain't got nothing to do with black people. That's just the mascot of it. Why they get to shame us, why they get most of the $4,000 a month benefits. Because that was a white woman that said that. Mm-hmm. Even when it comes to that shit. The racism against black women getting anywhere from $300 to $1,000 in SNAP benefits. There's white women complaining because they get $4,000. When did they ever have a job worth that much? Exactly. 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 So if most of the people are white and most of the people claiming it are white women, then what grocery stores are going to be affected? Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Oh my God. They keep using us as a scapegoat, a sacrificial lamb on Jesus. How come they're always marking us as Jesus then? The story write itself if you just let the auto pen write like Joe Biden. We ain't even gotta open no books for this. This shit easy. So like when you can triangulate, when you have enough variables, it's algebra. So when you have enough variables, you can triangulate common sense. So yeah, man, I don't know what they about to do. Because if they're saying they're not gonna